Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. Do you struggle to control your thoughts? Do negative thoughts take you down and leave you feeling like crap? I am about to reveal a powerful secret that has the potential to transform your entire mindset and banish negative thinking once and for all. You know that feeling with those feelings of self-doubt and those negative thoughts that start to creep in and they end up eventually holding you back from reaching your potential or even stepping into your purpose? Well, imagine having the key to unlock the state of pure connection and flow, leaving you with unshakable confidence and a lack of negative thoughts. Sounds intriguing, right? I have uncovered an ancient technique that is so underutilized, it's seemingly been kept secret. And it will revolutionize the way you think and completely eradicate the chatter of the monkey mind while conquering negativity. If you have struggled with negativity, this is for you. So by the end of this video, you are going to be armed with a game-changing strategy that can truly change the course of your life. So let's dig in. We all know that our thoughts create our reality, right? So that suggests that thought management has to be our highest priority. And yet, all of the practices that we know that we should have, of all of those practices that we probably do on a pretty regular basis, managing our thoughts has to be one of the hardest. I don't know about you, but it is for me. Yes, we have a few good go-to practices that we can lean on. Practices of gratitude can be profound, and it really helped me to understand neural pathways and how we can consciously reprogram them. But a lot of this takes a lot of effort. And as we know, what we resist persists. So the most sustainable solutions are usually the simplest ones, easy and even effortless. In fact, when I found trauma spotting and I experienced how easily it reprogrammed my subconscious and my nervous system, it was the ease and the simplicity that clearly pointed to that being the missing key. And it's as if I felt like this was the thing that had been hidden from me all along. And when I found this thought management technique that I'm about to share with you, I had a very similar feeling. And I have that question of like, could it really be this easy? I discovered this technique through a man named Gary Weber, but he's not the source of it. He just kind of breaks it down. If you want to check him out, he's on YouTube. And when he practiced this technique, he did it so diligently that eventually he quieted his mind completely. No more monkey mind, no more negative thinking. And he calls monkey mind or negative thinking as self-referential thoughts. He also refers to them as the blah, 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 right? We all know those thoughts that taunt us. I call mine the trauma demon, right? We've got my little trauma demon and my angel that sits on my shoulder. And it's always worried about something. It's always worried about what if I don't accomplish this, or what if I don't achieve that, or what if I'm not on time, or what if I don't get it all done, or what if I did something wrong, or what if my kids are not perfectly cared for. Notice the theme in all of those thoughts. It's self-referential. And what that means is I'm thinking about myself. All these thoughts that taunt us and torture us and cause us to feel like crap, they all start with me or my or I. And if you start paying attention, those are the times where you really start to feel like crap, right? That's why they call them self-referential thoughts, because they're constantly reflected inward, right? These are also known as problematic thoughts. And according to Gary, we have three types of thoughts. We have the problematic thoughts, we have the problem-solving thoughts, and we have planning thoughts. So the problem thoughts are immature. They tend to have a tendency to spiral out of control. They are emotional, they are sticky. And if we really question them and we do the Byron Katie, the work, we find that they're not even true, right? And so when we put this is super fascinating. When we put this awareness, this in the context of trauma healing, which we talk a lot about on this channel, it sounds very similar to the thoughts that we struggle with when we have the concern around survival or safety. We have a tendency to focus on the I, me, and my. And it is very interesting how when we focus on problem solving or engaged in planning, we shut down the part of the brain that produces self-referential thoughts. So this is the key. That, like, this is earth shattering, right? If we understand that it's called the default mode network, when we are in the default mode network, that's kind of up here, we are participating in problematic thoughts focused on self-reference, right? I, me, my. But and this is where the blah, 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 this is the monkey mind, this is the thoughts that you'll notice start to make you feel crappy. When we stop thinking consciously, we fall into the subconscious program or the default network. But when we engage in problem solving or planning, we are shutting down the self-referential part of our brain. We are shutting down the blah, blah, blah. We are shutting down the problematic thoughts. We are shutting down the selfishness, which is kind of a shame to say, or it's a little bit harsh, more harsh than I would want to say, especially on this channel, because we had to develop an over-reliance on that ability to think about ourselves, to keep ourselves safe. That was a survival mechanism. So it's not coming from a place of intentional selfishness, but it is very helpful to start to recognize when we are healed. We are no longer in the battlefield. It is time to learn how to manage the brain, and understanding where these thoughts come from is the key to being able to put a stop to it, right? So when we start to leverage, like I said, the problem solving part of our brain, and we can do this through simple questioning. And so this is the key, right? So understanding what causes the brain to think this way is the first part. And then sort of the secret, the aha, the thing that makes it all stop is self-inquiry. We want to start asking the question when we notice those self-referential thoughts come up. We want to start asking, who is the I? Who am I really? We have a tendency to associate ourselves with labels like mother or wife or friend or daughter or entrepreneur or any of those labels you pick, right? But that feeling of being me, my, I, is mixed with a lot of context from experience. Things like thoughts and images and feelings and sensations and perspectives or perceptions and activities and relationships are all kind of mixed up in the I. So we want to look at how this can obscure our sense of self and ask the question again, well, who am I really? If I'm not a wife anymore, do I cease to exist? If I'm not a daughter anymore, am I no longer me? And of course, this answer is no. If all of our labels and thoughts and feelings and experiences were stripped away, we are still here. So who am I? All right. And this is why the I is so wrought with concern. You can see how this may even look like the ego. Can you see how separate you are from this I? That if you are not the I, who are you? And as we continue to insist on asking this question, with every thought that we start to notice, it's just a thought. And you are not the I. And you are not any of these labels. You just simply are. And then from the I emerges the I am, that you are one with everything, and that all is one with you. And over time, through this process of self-inquiry, you will dissolve the I, you will dissolve the ego. And with enough time and persistence, the blah, blah, blah will stop. The ego will cease to exist. And you will find a peace and a stillness of mind that you never thought possible. A place of sweetness, a place of oneness and connection and guidance and flow. And this is what we were designed for. This is the next step in our evolution of consciousness. These are the teachings of Ramana Maharishi and the Bhagavad Gita. These are not new. These are ancient secrets of Sanskrit chanting and yoga. They've all pointed to this ability. Those practices are designed to lead us to the state of Brahman, or non-duality. And while I'm just skimming the surface on this topic here, just know that we can achieve freedom through thought, freedom from thought. The future is bright and there is hope. And so start by searching through self-inquiry. You can go look for self-inquiry meditations on YouTube. There's plenty out there. And you can get started on your journey to the ultimate peace and freedom that is available. Get started today. All right. I love you, my friends. I hope this helps, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.